Find the angle in radians between the vectors. Vector u is equal to cosine of 4 pi divided by 3I plus sine of 4 pi divided by 3j, and vector v is equal to cosine of 7 pi divided by 6I plus sine of 7 pi divided by 6j. First, write the vectors in rectangular form. So in rectangular form, vector u is equal to cosine of 4 pi divided by 3 sine of 4 pi divided by 3. But you know cosine of 4 pi divided by 3 is equal to negative 1/2, and sine of 4 pi divided by 3 is equal to the negative square root of 3 divided by 2. And when you write vector v in rectangular form, you have vector v is equal to cosine of 7 pi divided by 6 sine of 7 pi divided by 6. But cosine of 7 pi divided by 6 is equal to the negative square root of 3 divided by 2, and sine of 7 pi divided by 6 is equal to negative 1/2. Now, find the dot product of the vectors by multiplying the x components of the vectors together and the y components of the vectors together, then adding the products. So you have negative 1/2 times the negative square root of 3 divided by 2 plus the quantity the negative square root of 3 divided by 2 times negative 1/2. Simplify, and you have the square root of 3 divided by 4 plus the square root of 3 divided by 4, which is equal to 2 times the square root of 3 divided by 4. Simplify, and you have the square root of 3 divided by 2. Now find the magnitude of each vector. To find the magnitude of vector u, square each component of vector u, add the squares, then take the square root of the sum. Simplify, and you have the square root of 1/4 plus 3/4, which is equal to the square root of 1, which is equal to 1. To find the magnitude of vector v, once again square each component of the vector, add the squares, then take the square root of the sum. Simplify, and you have the square root of 3/4 plus 1/4, which is equal to 1. Now, because you know the dot product of the vectors and the magnitude of each vector, you can find the angle between the vectors using the equation cosine of theta is equal to the dot product of the vectors divided by the magnitude of vector u times the magnitude of vector v. So substitute the square root of 3 divided by 2 for the dot product of the vectors, and substitute 1 for the magnitude of vector u, and substitute 1 for the magnitude of vector v. Simplify, and you find cosine of theta is equal to the square root of 3 divided by 2. Now find the arc cosine of each side of the equation. You find theta is equal to pi divided by 6 radians.